guys, we are now being joined by Derek the Law Scott, who has an upcoming fight in his rematch here as an amateur, and it's going to be a title fight for Shamrock FC coming up, and he's actually joining us right now at the gym, but inside his car. What's going on, Derek? How you doing?
What's up, guys? Just finished my training session. I'm about to actually go to a legal appointment, so staying busy.
So before we talk anything about your fight, I did a little research on you, and there's a couple questions I want to ask you outside of the fight world. For anyone out there that listens in that, kind of wants to reach out to you about your classes that you do. I saw you do online nutrition classes. I know I always get people asking to ask the fighters about what their diets are and stuff like that, but in your case, you actually can work with people on the internet. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I am the co-founder, along with my brothers, of Scott Health and Fitness. We do actually online personal training, online nutrition coaching, and a myriad of other online services. We currently run a nutrition coaching program, and I am personally, I have a Precision Nutrition Level 1 certification, and I'm currently enrolled in a Precision Nutrition Level 2 master class, which is a year-long class where I do basically a nutrition coaching lesson every single day. And then there's quizzes and all sorts of case studies that are accompanied in that.
So is it you and your brother that are doing this?
Yeah, it's actually me, both my brothers, and then we actually have a team underneath us of certified nutrition coaches and certified personal trainers.
So if somebody's listening right now and they want to reach out to you, how do they go about doing that?
You can find us on almost every social media platform, as well as at scotthealthandfitness.com. All of our social media is Scott Health and Fitness. You can find me under my own full name, Derek Aspen Scott, on all my social media profiles. And actually on Twitter, I'm actually pretty active in that I drop all sorts of, we call them knowledge bombs on Twitter pretty frequently. Today I went on a little bit of a magnesium rant today, where I was talking about a bunch of magnesium stuff.
I saw that on your Facebook page, and I like your quotes that you give out, kind of inspirational thing. Another question, I kind of stumbled upon this. What are elimination diets?
Okay, so an elimination diet is essentially where you remove all intolerant foods or all foods that are generally suspected of intolerances or something that you would be having an adverse reaction to. The more you can eliminate, the more you can find out from an elimination diet. So you're going to remove those foods for approximately 3 weeks. Then after 3 weeks, you're going to systemically add back in foods that would generally be something that somebody's going to have a common intolerance to: dairy, gluten. Add them back in on a single day, eat them for a full day, and then you're going to wait 2 days to see if you have any adverse reactions to it. If you do, you have a food intolerance, to exclude that food in the future. If you don't have any adverse reactions, then that food is generally okay to be included within your diet.
So all my the health guys that I talk with all the time, they say if they went out to just eat vegetables and then they went back to eating burgers, their body, it just feels awful.
Yeah. So here's the thing with those types of hyper processed foods, they are very calorically dense, lots of calories in there, right? But you're not getting a lot of the micronutrients. You're not getting a lot of the vitamins and the minerals and the phytonutrients that you get from a whole food-based diet. So that happens a lot. If you eat a hyper-processed diet, you're going to start to feel adverse physical reactions. So basically, to make that a little bit simpler, if you eat like shit, you're going to feel like shit, period.
You are what you eat, and you are what you're around, even mentally, and all of that. So, going into this fight, you found out that you have the rematch. What's going through your head now? As an amateur, you want to get those out of the way. If you find an opponent that you've lost to, it's always good to go back and try to fix the mistake. So, how are you going about this?
Yeah, I tell people this all the time. I either win or I learn, period. There's no such thing as a loss on my book. And I've watched that fight, and I personally do not feel as though I lost that fight. So I'm basically focused on me, focused on getting better. Winners focus on winning, losers focus on winners. So basically, from that time and since I found out about the fight, all it's been is making myself a better fighter, making myself a better person, making myself stronger mentally, physically, and emotionally.
So you're in St. Louis, but your Skype says you're in Waco, Texas. Where are you right now?
I'm currently in St. Louis. I did my law school in Waco, Texas at Baylor University. So that's probably why it says that. I spent about 7 years in Texas. I trained out of Octagon MMA in Dallas before I came back up here to St. Louis, where I currently basically train underneath the Scout Health and Fitness brand. But I also train with a couple local gyms here, JD's Gym, North Broadway Jiu-Jitsu. Definitely get in a lot of work. And then we do gymnastics too at High Energy Gymnastics.
I also saw that you do a little parkour.
Yeah, parkour, flips, tricks. I mean, you name it, I can do it. We have a Guinness World Record for like Swiss ball backflips, which is the most obscure trick that anybody could ever think of.
Which is
but,
what?
We were given the opportunity, so we seized it.
What is that? Can you just explain that a little bit, what that trick is or what that is exactly?
Yeah, it's on my social media, and people ask me that all the time. It's basically you jump onto a Swiss ball, backflip off of it, and then the ball kind of rolls away from you, and your partner does the same thing, and you do it back and forth. And we've done that in 30 seconds and for a minute.
Wow. That's absolutely crazy. And of course, you were just saying that you're on Twitter a lot and, Facebook. What's your Twitter handle?
Derek Aspen Scott, DerikAspenscott.
And clearly you know who your opponent is. I mean, have you talked to him after that fight and leading up to this, or really kept your distance?
No, I mean, the MMA community in St. Louis is relatively small, so everybody knows of everybody, but we haven't actually had a conversation at all. My brother just headlined the previous Shamrock event two fights ago, and they had a fighter on the card, so he was there, and we saw each other, but no interactions.
Is your brother Travis?
No, my brother's Sean Scott.
Sean Scott, okay.
Sean the Gladiator Scott.
And also, man, I got to ask you this. Of course, this fight's for a title, but when do you think you're going to be making that transition into a pro? I mean, do you think if you get this win, you'll feel about ready? Or because I know you fought 6 times last year, which is a lot.
Yeah. The purpose of an amateur career is to prepare yourself for a professional career.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm ready to roll. And that's the word that I'm hearing from the people that I surround myself with. It's time to, make a statement, make the jump.
And you're about to go inside the gym. So what's your day going to be like here?
I actually just finished up at the gym. I trained a client, trained myself, did a little bit of mobility work, and then I shot a video for our online Lean Fit Functional training people. I am currently about to go have a legal meeting and do some estate planning for a client. So I'm going to switch hats and put on the attorney role. And then I got some more health and fitness later today.
Well, you literally blow my mind. What will blow my mind even more is if you answer this question with a yes. Do you have a girlfriend, man? Because it seems like you're filled up with a lot of your time.
Yeah, I do. And
wow.
Yeah,
that's wild,
she's very supportive of the things that I do in my life, and I like to say that I'm a wild stallion running free, and she's of the mentality that she can run with me, so it works well.
I mean, that's got to be an exciting relationship. You're always out and running around. Is she into that kind of stuff?
Yeah, she's a cheerleader, so she does all sorts of that stuff too. Flips, tricks, you name it, she does it. Super fit, super healthy. She actually just did a modeling photo shoot, her third one in the past month. So she's definitely right there with me as far as staying busy, keeping active.
So it sounds like you probably had an active childhood. Were you a wrestler in high school, middle school, or what did you do for activities around that age?
Yeah, so my parents owned a gymnastics gym, and that's where our significant gymnastics background comes from. But growing up, my parents let us do everything: basketball, baseball, football, soccer, wrestling, tennis, diving. I mean, you name it, we probably played it. I can remember, I think I won my first national championship as a gymnast when I was 6 or 7 years old. I mean, I was young. And it was already we had trophy cases from the time I can remember.
Wow, man. And this is going to be an exciting fight. Shamrock has been putting on so many amazing cards. Guys, this is going to be going down March 24th, Shamrock FC 286. We want to wish you the best of luck in your upcoming fight, man. What we like to do towards the end of the interview is just tell everybody what can they expect when they tune in to Shamrock FC 286.
Definitely an athletic performance. I mean, that's kind of my calling card, is I'm a very, very good athlete, and hopefully some backflips.
That's awesome, man. So mic's all yours, man. If you have any sponsors, shout outs, anything, the floor is all yours.
Awesome. So we got Scott Health and Fitness that I need to always pay homage to, and then I got my gyms, JD's Gym. I got North Broadway Jiu-Jitsu. I have our gymnastics gym, High Energy Gymnastics. We've got our awesome t-shirt sponsor, Jumper Threads. Jumper Threads, dude, they have the sickest apparel. It's unreal. And then I also want to give out a shout to my strength and conditioning coach with Kilo Strength Societies, Stefan Kazalt. And then Paula Quinn Group for the supplementation line. And then we got Natural Machine Nutrition, who always takes care of a lot of other stuff for us. And let me think. I got Kevin Scott with American Family Agency, takes care of all my insurance needs. And I know I'm forgetting somebody, but I can't think of it off the top of my head.
It's always like this, because you got to think everybody, from the guys that are helping you do the weight cuts, everything. Like, everyone helps along this journey here. And we want to wish you the best of luck at Shamrock FC 286. Best of skill, Scott.
Thanks,
Garrett
brother.
Scott.